Welcome back to this week's episode of EVTV. I'm Braden.
And I'm Jordan. Not a lot of people know about the hard work that goes into wrestling.
For more info about it, we spoke to some students on the Devils wrestling team.
You dropped the single. Yeah, you're working hard. Go.
Tons of hard work and dedication goes into the sport of wrestling, and there's a big side to it that many people don't get to see.
It's hard work.
People don't usually get to see is probably how the coaches are in the middle of practice.
It's like a lot of running and all the drills that we do. I think that's probably something people don't see a lot.
Wrestling is an individual sport. When you're on the mat, it's only you and your opponent. But you can play your part by coming out to support our wrestlers at their different matches.
It's different than like a basketball game or whatever. It's one at a time, so it's more, if you have a favorite, then you just go watch them. You don't have to watch everybody.
I think students can come to the wrestling matches because I feel like you can come support your friends and stuff like that. Instead of watching a whole team, you can watch individual people.
I think students should come to wrestling matches because you get to see kids get slammed and it's like a free WWE match, so I think it's pretty fun.
Weigh-ins can make or break your match. If you don't make weight, you can't wrestle.
Maybe I'll drink a cup of water or something like that, and I make sure that I'm on weight. Because if I don't make weight, I can't wrestle. So I just gotta try my best to keep weight.
You just make sure that you're on weight, and if you're not, obviously you better get to running because if you don't make weight, you're not wrestling.
Many lifelong memories come from wrestling. It feels great to win.
So I was losing this year by 11, and I turned around and pinned the kid in the third.
When you're on the mat and everyone just kind of has their attention on you, I think that's pretty cool to be in the spotlight, and it's even better when you win. You get to have your hand raised in front of everybody, everyone cheer for you, so I think that's pretty my favorite part.
Overall, wrestling is a really interesting sport and helps many people build their characters. Anyone should feel free to come out and join. This has been Braden, Bodie, and Jordan with Eagle Valley Student Media.
Is this you? 3 a.m. on a school night on your phone?
If this is you, you should really get some rest. Come join us for Wellness Week to learn.
Please get some rest, and when you feel rejuvenated, come join us February 13th to the 17th. Forms will be available starting February 1st in homeroom, front office, or Miss McCarty's room. Hope to see you soon!
The Nordic team is one of the highest performing sports at the school, but only a few people even know what the sport is.
So we interviewed Mr. Steiner and Ethan Barber for more information about the sport and why it goes so unnoticed.
The Nordic team at EVHS is one of the highest performing teams at the school, with multiple people being sent to state races each year, and even having past skiers take first place. But not many people know about the Nordic team or even what the sport is.
The sport of Nordic is it's a form of skiing that originated arguably 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. Most people call it cross country, but there's two disciplines of Nordic.
Your skis are much thinner, like a third of the weight, and your poles are about as tall as your chin. The difference between classic skiing and skate skiing is they look completely different, and you have two different setups. You have different poles and different skis. So classic, it's pretty your more basic skiing. It's where you're in the track and you're doing the diagonal stride. And then skate skiing, in my opinion, is much more fun. It's much faster too. It's where you're just like downhill skiing, you push off from leg to leg, and you're striding and skiing on one ski for a short amount of time.
For new and old Nordic skiers, it's challenging to find a place to practice with enough snow, and the Nordic team has to adapt to this by finding places to ski outside of gypsum.
A typical practice, we spend most of our practice season in the dark skiing.
We practice throughout the valley. We practice in Vale, Cordillera now, Frost Creek, and Malloy Park.
And we drive there, so yeah, we leave campus right away and then hit the snow, and then we practice till about 7 o'clock.
Despite being one of the highest performing teams at the school, Nordic isn't as well recognized as other sports.
People just don't understand it, it's a smaller percentage of the population that have ever done it in their life, so people just don't know about it.
It's not as popular maybe not as cool as, football or basketball, but I'm definitely proud of a lot of our less recognized teams, the mountain bike team, the Nordic team, the cross country team. But yeah, I think it's just less of a well-known and understood sport. You're skiing uphill, so others, people from outside would be like, what the frick, that's really weird.
So for people looking for a fun workout in the outdoors, Nordic is a perfect sport to look into, and the Nordic team might be the perfect place to start. With Eagle Valley Student Media, this has been Cooper and Emmanuel.
There are many students here in the Valley that are bilingual.
There's a seal that recognizes disability and also opens the doors of more opportunities. For more, we go to Ms. Navarro. Last year, Eagle Valley had the highest number of students graduating with a Seal of Biliteracy in the district.
I think coming from a Hispanic household, being bilingual was kind of like the goal, having better opportunities in your future. So I just wanted to accomplish that.
So the Seal of Biliteracy is a seal on a student's diploma that certifies that they are fully biliterate in English and another language. Being biliterate is different from being bilingual in that being biliterate indicates that someone is able to not only speak and listen in two languages, but they can also read and write proficiently in both languages. The first thing is they need to be able to demonstrate their proficiency in English. And the way that most students at our school do that is either through their SAT reading and writing score or taking the writing Accuplacer. The second step is to demonstrate your proficiency in the other language, which is usually Spanish. Right now, passing the AP Spanish test is the only way that Eagle Valley High School has or uses to demonstrate a student's proficiency in Spanish.
AP Spanish, that was reading from a book, so I guess the conversations that we had in class, that was more of the easy part about it.
The next criteria point is that students need to complete 20 volunteer hours that are bilingual.
I took a class that you can take here, and it's bilingual aid. So you translate for kids.
If a student is approved to be a bilingual instructional aid, which are students who are bilingual that are able to support other students in their content classes, then that student is now exempt from the hours, the presentation, and the interview.
Honestly, there was no easy part about it. Focusing and putting your mind onto it is a challenge.
For more information, feel free to contact Ms. Navarro. For EVTV, this has been Ariana and Iratze. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode.
See you next week.
Adios!